Hi everyone, it's Tammy with the Frou-frou Studio. Welcome back. Today I am going to make some guest checks for my shabby journal using a pen from i.pin, P-I-N, img.com. And it looks to me as though they have decoupaged maybe a napkin or some tissue paper or something like that onto a guest check and then decorated it. I'm not sure if that's how they did it. There is no how-to associated with this. And so I'm just kind of guessing based on looking at it. And that is how I'm going to proceed. So we'll see what we can do. I have my little box here if you want to craft along with me and you want to think about supplies. And I have just some guest checks. And I have some cardstock that I'm going to back those with so they're not so thin, because mine are really thin. I've got some photographs, and I've got some little paper flowers. I've got some napkins, some paper scraps, some itty-bitty lace scraps. I've got some muslin here, and some buttons and some safety pins. So this is kind of my little box I'm going to work from. I also have some labels over here to the side. I didn't put them in the box, but they're over here. We may use some of those as well. But the first thing I want to do is get my guest checks backed with this cardstock. And what I'm going to do is I want to do I'm going to do a couple, I think. I want to do one that is real shabby chic, in my opinion. And then the other one I want to do with a little bit more grungy look to it, because I'm working on another journal that's grungier than my shabby journal. And the colors are a little different. So I'm going to do one of each and see how they turn out. I'm going to take these little tabs off the bottom, but I am going to save them. I thought I could tear that off, but I'm afraid I'm going to rip the guest, so I'm going to cut them just to be safe. Like I said, my guest checks are really thin. If you have those really nice thicker ones, you may not need to back them. But these are just cheapies off Amazon, so they're like real thin. Okay, so let's get some glue stick and put those down first. Get those cut out. I'm going to have to allow for a little bit of gluing time on these, not on this part, but when we put the napkins on. So when we get to that, I'll just pause it and let them dry and come back to you. So I hope everybody's having a good Thursday. Everything's a-okay my way. And I'm sure you guys have seen napkin covered guest checks before. I don't think this is anything new. I just thought it'd be something neat to try, since those have such a shabby look, and I am doing that shabby journal. So I don't think this is a new process by any means. So I kind of glue glob under that one, but I can't get that out either. I didn't notice that when I put the glue on there. Oh, yeah, I just get it smushed out. Good deal. What is everybody working on these days? Are you doing Easter? I'm not gonna do Easter this year, I don't think. I have a real hard time, other than Christmas, doing the holiday journals, because I just feel like, you know, nobody wants a whole journal of Easter, I wouldn't think. I mean, I'm sure some people do, but, you know, I think of a journal as something you're going to write in for at least a month anyway. And are you going to write in an Easter journal for a month? I am going to do like a spring botanical kind of thing. And my shabby journal is going to be quite springy, like the colors, you know, pinks and flowers and stuff like that. But I just don't know that Easter is something that I want to do in a journal. Okay, so now we have 2 guest checks, and the next thing I want to do, and I'm going to save these because, you know, that's what we do, and that obviously can go on something else. Is I'm going to pick my napkins. Now for the grungier one, I'm going to use this guy. And this is just part of one that I had in my stash. But it has a more grungy look to it. And I'm hoping that that guest check stuff's going to show through there. I think it will. And then, what do we want to use for the shabby? I pulled out 3 different options. This piece may not be big enough. Oh, wait, it's folded. So maybe it is. So I've got this one, which I'm thinking that will show through very well. And I've got this one, which I love. But I'm not sure with the blue background how much the guest check part is going to show through. And then I've got this one, which I also love. Let's do this one. And if it doesn't come out, then we'll do this other one. Alright, so that's my napkins. And I'm going to put these down with matte gel medium. And this one is by Liquitex. I have a new one I'm going to try that is by a different company, and I got it because it was on sale on Amazon, and it's also a bigger container, so I thought I would try it because matte gel medium is quite expensive, I think, for what it is. I should have waited for that glue to dry a little more. I'm getting some bubblage. Alright, so let's put this on here. Be real easy so I don't rip it. Try to get my wrinkles out the best I can. I don't care if there's some left in there. Okay, and then I'm going to gently put the matte medium over the top. Get my edges really well. I'm just pouncing to kind of give it a little bit of texture and also to get out any bubbles if there are any. Alright, so there's that one. So now let's do the other one and then I'll pause you while they dry and come back. Got a little paintbrush hair on there. Get off there. There we go. You have to work kind of quickly with matte gel medium. It does dry fairly quickly. Oh, see, gently. I wasn't gentle, was I? Ripped a hole right in it. Okay, I think that'll be fine by the time we get everything else on there. Alright, I think I have everything good and covered. So I'm going to pause the video and let these dry, which shouldn't take very long at all. And then I will come back and we will continue. So I will see you. It'll be just a second for you. Okay, I'm back and these are dry and I have trimmed them pretty close around the edges. But I've decided what I want to do is I want to take this sanding disc that is by Ranger that goes on the end of a dauber, and I'm going to sand around the edges to get the rest of the excess paper off. And then I'm also, I think, going to sand some of the surface. I can see where it says guest check, but it's really, really faint. And so I'm going to try to sand off some of the napkin and see if I can get a better look than it just being totally covered with napkin. I have that on there really crooked. Okay. But if you lightly sand your edges, it will allow you to take off what's remaining and give you a nice clean edge. It'll also grunge it up a little bit or shabby it up a little bit, so when you put ink on it, it will take the ink better. Okay, there's that one. And then this one you can see the guest check better. So I think if you can pick a napkin that has mostly a white background with a smaller pattern, I think you're going to be better off. Or you could use just the white part or the ghost prints. If you have napkins that are like 3 parts, you know how the second part you pull off kind of has the imprint of the napkin, but it's real faint. Maybe something like that would work better. Or you could put something on the actual guest check, like a stamp or something like that, and then use just the white part of the napkin. That's also a possibility. That one little corner there didn't want to cooperate. Okay, I'm going to try the sanding first on this one because I want it to be grungier anyway. So I'm going to try on this one, and then depending on the results we get, I may do the other. So I'm going to start up here where it says guest check. And I don't care if some of that paper comes off. Okay, and then let's try down here, you know, where it says total tax and all that. Okay, like that. Let's just do the whole thing, shall we? Sure, why not? While we're being brave, I'm just really lightly just kind of going in circles. I'm not putting a lot of pressure at all. Okay, now we're going to be brave. Let me get these little pieces out because they're sticking to my sweater and everything. And do the flowers. And I do see that I did not sand that whole edge. I missed one, guys. Now this is pulled up a little bit right here, so my expectation is when I sand it, it's gonna come off, but I don't care. Okay. Sorry I got quiet there. I forgot I was videoing, supposed to be talking. Alright, so I like both of them. I do think I like the way this one all blended in better. This one's okay as well. Now, I'm wondering what would happen if I took some of Tim Holtz glaze and put on top of that. Let's try that. So this is Distress Glaze. And I am just going to put some on my finger tool. You don't need but just a little bit of this. And then I'm going to rub it over the entire surface. And this is almost like a lotiony petroleum jelly kind of thing. But it dries. And it just gives a really smooth texture. And just a bit of a shine. It's not totally matte, but it's not, you know, too shiny. And it soaks into the surface, like I said, and it just gives a really nice finish. And I like that because it's making those lines and things really pop out from the bottom. Just a little dab more. And like I said, you do not need much of this at all. Just a little bit, and you just rub it in. And then once you get it everywhere that you want it, take a paper towel and kind of wipe off the excess. And I'm loving this one. So let's see what kind of success we have on this one. See how it makes that guest pop out there when I put it on? Chapstick. It kind of reminds me of chapstick, or like a Carmex kind of thing. And you can see I'm not even sticking my finger down in there. I'm kind of rubbing the side of the jar because I'm telling you, it does not take a lot. Okay, so we got that one all covered. All right, so now we can move on to inking and putting our top pieces on. That seems like it took forever. Sorry about that. I'm using frayed burlap. Need to glue that down. That's my guest check coming apart from my cardstock. I'm sure where I didn't get glue stick in that corner. So there's that one. Now, if you're going to splatter ink or something like that on these, I would do that before you do the Distress Glaze, because it's going to have a tendency to puddle up after you put the Distress Glaze on it. So you do want to do all your inking, splattering, all that. And think of your Distress Glaze as your top coat, your finishing coat. Alright, so let's see what we got here. I cut out some of my favorite photos. These are by TaylorMade Journals, these lovely little girls. And this is Tim Holtz. And I want the Tim Holtz one on here, I know, because it's more shabby looking. And let's see, which little beauty. I kind of like her because she's got some pink color to her already. Let's do her. Alright, and so now we need some little papery bits. So maybe music paper behind her. Behind her. They're both hers, aren't they? Music paper behind this one. And maybe this, which is Old Almanac, behind this one. Okay. Or do I want to do, no, I like that. Or do I want to do this? Is this going to be better color-wise? They're both about the same color. Let's do that, the German. Okay, so now, oh, and I also want to put some muslin behind. The wind is just whipping out there. Whipping, whipping. I swear that feels like two pieces, but I guess it's not. Okay, now let's work on some lace. This one might be better over here. I've got this little piece that has some pink in it. I don't know if I can. This one's grungier looking. That one's real grungy looking. This is a good way to use up just little scrappy pieces of stuff that you have laying around, for sure. Alright, and then I'm thinking that one, I could use one of these flowers, but take the sequin off and put a button. Oh, that one doesn't have one. Maybe I'll use it and put a button in the middle of it. Have a little one, kind of like that, and then maybe another little piece of something up there, and I think we got that one whipped. I think that color needs to go on that one. What else? What else? What else? Maybe one of these little loopy things. Yeah, I like that, I think. I have this little piece too. I don't want to totally cover up where it says guest check. That kind of defeats the purpose, doesn't it? Okay, there's that one. Now, on this one, then I think I'm going to pin that, and then I think I'm going to label. Let's see. And then maybe another one up at the top. No, it's not the right color. Not the right color. Well, guys, fishing and tackling warehouse. That ain't your work, is it? And I say ain't jokingly. I do not use that word unless I'm joking. Not there's anything wrong with it. It's just not something I normally use unless I'm being silly. Oh, guys. All right. We're going to let that go a minute because it's going to drive me crazy. All right. Let's glue this one together before you all are ready to shoot me. I should have inked that. Oh, me oh my. We're going to heck in a handbasket really quick here, guys. Got glue globs. I'm trying to hurry is what it is. That, and I have glue all over my fingers, so everything is sticking. I got my glue finally in the mail, yay! It took forever. So I was able to fill my bottle back up. So I don't have to wait half an hour for the glue to get to the end. Okay, so there is that one done. I don't think my glue stick's gonna stick to that photo to that fabric. So let me put some 3-in-1 under there. Fabri-Tac, whichever you prefer to call it. I think it's both the same thing. All right, so there's our shabby one. Now, we can start on this one. This is a brand new glue stick. I don't know why it's being so globby. You could stitch around these too if you wanted to. That would be really cute. I'm not comfortable enough with it yet to stitch everything I'm making, so I won't be doing that, I don't think. It just takes a lot longer than what I want to spend sitting over there trying to get it to work out. Okay. Get a few pieces here. No. Maybe a piece of this. And a piece of the stringy stuff. I love this lace right here because I think it was probably a curtain at some point, but I like it because when you tear it apart, it causes those little strings. I'm going to try to pin these together. I keep missing the thing. There we go. Okay, now do I have something to put? I want to put a label up there. Dang it. I'll put that on there. Scrunch it up. I could use one of these flowers again, but in a grungier tone this time. And pop the sequin off. Excuse me. No. Wrong top. See, these all have kind of a brown tone. I need one that has kind of a gray tone to it. Like that. Do I have a long, thin one like that instead of one that's so wide? Oh. What's this one say? That's it. That's it. See, I knew if I dug long enough, I'd find one. All right. There we go. There's our 2 makes for this week for I saw it on Pinterest. I think I will try those other napkins at some point. I'm really curious to see with that blue background because I don't think I can get it to show through even with the sanding and stuff, but you never know until you try, do you? So, I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you'll try this, and let me know how it comes out for you guys, or if you have any suggestions or ideas about the background. And I will see you guys tomorrow for hashtag 50 Stack Challenge 4. Until then, everybody have a good evening. Bye.